What's going on, my good people? This your boy Life Up the Entertainer here to bring you some action between UAPB and Mississippi Valley. This is going to be an interesting band battle. They both got their own strengths and weaknesses, and they're going to be explored today, but it's going to be unique who carries this battle, okay? This is UAPB's homecoming, so I know that they're finna come with that heat. Mississippi Valley is a powerhouse, man. They got some real strong powerhouse, man. I just got done seeing them not too long ago, so please check out that video. I graded them between Jackson State. Alright, so, but this is going to be an interesting battle between both of these bands. I do not know what to expect out of this, but they end up having a 0 quarter, a 5th quarter, a halftime, and field show. So, you know, this is going to be nice to see both bands carry in this battle. So it's a lot to grade, and we're going to get into the action, okay? So again, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Also, you know, please consider liking up this video because it helps boost the algorithm, okay? Appreciate y'all in advance and thank y'all, okay? So I did enough rambling. Let me pull up that grading scale so I know what we're going to be grading, okay? We're going to be grading for 0 quarter, song selection, power, articulation, arrangement, and overall cleanness. Maximum points they can make all together is 45. Every other category besides song selection is 10. Song selection is 5, okay? The reason why song selection is 5 because usually in 0 quarter, bands tend to play traditional and spirit songs. So if a band plays one of those 2 songs, I'm going to dock them against that, you know. They have a chance to redeem their songs depending if they're ahead of another band, by the way. But if it's a traditional song, I'm only going to dock them 1 point. But if it's a straight spirit song like Neck or something like that they've been playing for years, then, you know, I'm probably going to dock them 2. So it definitely depends on what we're going to go about as far as highlighting that, okay? So, but this is a short 0 quarter. It's clocking in at 5 minutes and 46 seconds. So we'll be getting into halftime pretty soon. So sit tight. Let's get into the action. Like UAPB starts us off this battle. Shout out to IVG Productions for getting the videos. Perfect for that one, ladies and gentlemen. That was nice right there. They cranked out that area code on this, man. Song selection is 5, power is 10, articulation is 10, arrangement is 10, overall cleanness is a 10. Couldn't spot anything major, but I can say that some trumpets are trying to overshoot it with the super, so they gotta be careful not to stick out too much. But if they keep on, I might have to dock them. So it depends on how this battle goes. It's like they was doing a little bit, but then they kind of died down just a tad bit. But we finna see. Moving on. Valley.
Coming to the middle of the field, representing the Golden Lions, this is going to be number 8, Elijah Jackson. Number 6, Antonio Johnson. Number 9, McCall Higgins. And number 48 for the Golden Lions, this is Trey Glynn. They're going to line up across the field with number 73, Calvin Lester. Number 20, Charlie Williams. Number 8, Boris Perkins. Rebels head coach Kendrick Wade and the Mississippi Valley State Yankee Rebels. And now, coming out under the direction of head coach Coach Alonzo Hampton,
Alrighty. Got that nice little perfect. I'm gonna say the same thing I just told UAPB. It's the Chompers trying to hit these supers. Okay, so you know they're gonna have to really start playing in the pocket. You know, I'm gonna really start docking them, but. You know, it's not too bad. It's not too noticeable, but I just feel like, you know, those trumpets is just going to have to really stay in sync because, you know, when we over carry it, it just seems like you're going to have people sneaking in and missing as well. So be mindful of that, ladies and gentlemen. Be mindful of that, you know. Play in the pocket as an ensemble. Don't overdo it. Moving on.
Golden Lion Nation, are you ready for some football? We thank you for some of your Saturday here in Golden Lion Nation as we are celebrating homecoming, hosting the Mississippi State Silver Devils right here at Citizens Field in Pine Park. Let's go.
Chaotic right now. To be honest with you, I can't really. I think it's how IBG's audio is. It's like one sound cancels the other, and I don't know if that's just how his mic is set up. But usually I'll be able to tell too. But it's kind of like I can barely hear either side. I'm not going to count that second round simply because it was just a lot of chaos. They switched from multiple songs and that was too much to keep up with. Definitely was a lot to keep up with in that. But we only got that. We're going to grade that first round. And, you know, right now it's a tie in 0 quarter. Okay? That's usually a trend anyway, them going against each other and outplaying each other. That's usually the thing in 0 quarter. Alright? So, moving on. Alright, so we got halftime here, okay? So y'all made it this far in the video. Please consider liking, sharing, you know, possibly subscribing if you're new to the channel. Again, if you skip to this point, please, think about that before you move on. All right. So a lot of people want to know, these emojis and stuff. Every emoji has something unique towards the band. Okay. Um, as you can tell, UAPB got trophies on their name. That's because they got a perfect 30 on their field show. So I'm expecting a strong field show from UAPB. Okay, I really am. I think that can actually carry them in this battle if they're careful. Now, I know y'all noticed that Mississippi Valley got wings by their name. That's because they were very consistent in their book, and consistency and duration as far as they consistently hitting. Now every band has their day when they sound bad, so that's just the tell of the tape. But that can also help them get the strategical advantage over UAPB. So I just pointed out both bands' strengths and weaknesses, so I do not know what to expect in this battle. Okay, so just want to throw that out there. So we're gonna be grading halftime. Please look to the cards next to me. All right. So in the field show, we're going to be grading entrance, songs, formation, dances, and breakdown overall creativity. Maximum points they can make all together is 25. If they're able to get 25 in all those categories, they will be able to get a perfect field show rating. I have a creative department. If they're able to do something unique or exciting on the field, I would give them extra incentive points. Okay? So that can either help a band get an initial edge over the band. Even if they didn't get a perfect field show, it will give them some type of boost in their grade. Okay? So, with that being said, I did enough talking, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into the action. Looks like Mississippi Valley is going to be next.
On behalf of the greatest president in the universe, President Dr. Gerald Briggs and Executive Director of Fans, Dr. Bonds, State University, let's get busy! Introducing the drum majors of this evening, Kamari Pope, Thomas Lyles, Keelan Johnson, Jalen Harris, and the head drum major, Daryl McCray Jr.
Okay, drum majors.
Back it up. Back it up. Back it up.
See if they can keep this line drill right.
The Mac of the Slack is back, baby.
Drum majors now stepping right.
All right, fans, the band is now playing. Wish I Didn't Miss You.
Got some 8 to 5 issues already. Got small snakes here. Ooh. Oh man, that don't look good at all. Gotta remember, line is a formation.
Presentation, powerful performance. It's what we bring. That's how we want. That's why we swing and the rock we roll.
There's just some people just walking and just following the leader drill. I don't know if they drill 8 to 5 or not with them, but it does not look good when you got a half marching and some walking. It don't look good. Some more 8 to 5 issues.
Put your eyes to the 50-yard line. The ladies will keep you on your feet. The elegant, illustrious, smooth, sensational, Very classy, very cutesy, very demure. What you say? Hey! 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 Give me ass! Top! 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 Let's go!
That's a lot of bass drums.
Let's go! Let's go!
Okay.
Let's go!
Ooh.
What you say? Who is in the wall? Bring the bell Hey! 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 Trick! Go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
I would say that they have a little bit more energy on this one.
Let's take them home, Mean Green. Introducing the band now. Assistant directors.
Let's give that a grade. Alright, so creative, I'm gonna give creative a 3 There was no creative. I mean, I lied. I'm sorry. There was no creative. I'm sorry. Breakdown was a 3. Dancers was a 5. Formations, I'm gonna give formations a 2. Songs a 5. Entrance, I'm gonna give that a 5. All right. It is definitely struggling in some categories. Entrance was good. But when we started moving 8 to 5, the drum majors didn't even get in sync in the beginning. We got past the entrance, but I could have docked that on entrance too, if I really to be honest with you. Songs, they sounded clean. They still had a good sound. Formations, it just those lines, the line drills, that is killing y'all, man. It is really killing y'all this season. Y'all gonna have to really dig down deep and pull on that. Like, y'all gonna have to work on that next season, for real. That they definitely need help in that department, and especially like when you have some band members that got their legs up, and some band members that are walking. What are y'all, walking band or y'all marching band? If y'all gonna all walk, okay. But don't have half the band marching, half the band not. That doesn't make any sense. I don't care how big you are. I don't care if you're lazy. You in a marching band, you march. Now, if that was a walking step, like if it was a walking follow the leader drill, okay, I'm okay with that. Long as they in step and everybody's doing it. You got to remember, if you're a cohesive unit, it looks bad when one person do it, not everybody does it. It's a bad egg in there. Dancers did good, no complaints. Breakdown. I just feel like when it comes down to that breakdown department, they just really gonna have to really make sure that they get those things right as far as them getting the excitement in there. They had the energy in this, but the problem is, they was missing. Some people were just not together. Some people forgot certain moves. You get what I'm saying, and that hurt them. This is one of their strongest breakdowns they had this season. Usually they be aiming for it too. So it's a step in the right direction, but they definitely lacking. They lacking. So. Just want to put that out there on your conscience. That's not me picking on them. I'm just going to be honest with you. That's just what they need to work on. Alright, so they got a 20 on that field show. Alright, moving on to UAPBs. Again, if y'all made it this far, please consider subscribing and liking the video. It really means a lot. Moving on to UAPBs. Alright, let's get it. Let's see what they got.
Golden highlights, you know what time it is. Make some noise for the mesmerizer. The magnificent marching musical machine of the mix-up. Our drum majors, Mr. Brian Wade, Mr. Corday McCoy, Mr. Taylor Waters, and last but not least, Mr. Elijah Washington. And I know that, the lead. Extraordinary gentlemen. The machine is there for you to ready. Drum majors, flip the switch and get this band on the field. Marching band fans far and wide. Do me a favor.
It was good. It just needed to be a tad bit cleaner.
Let me hear you all.
Just needs to be a tad bit cleaner.
For the mesmerizing, the magnificent, marching, musical machine of the mix.
When it was the right time for my wife and I to launch our small business, we chose LegalZoom to create our LLC. And
The band will now open up to the powerful sounds of the mix. Remember, it never rains on the Golden Line. car. Machine of the Mid-South. The car was let out and the Golden Girls from around the world are coming to hit the field. Dancing from 1989 to 2005. Leave the girls out of Israel. But fans of Golden Girls from 1986. Let's go, alumni, let's go. Our next group range from 2006 all the way to 2023. The ladies of Golden Girls. Bringing that to 2024, 2025, Golden Girls. Let's do it. The Golden Girls under the direction of Dr. Deandra Rose. Regardless of the year, it doesn't matter if your team has a little bit of glitter. I promise they'll never, ever be the Golden Girls. Give it up for the Golden Girls.
I love the ending.
You've seen the show. Now it's time to add the color, the style, the finesse. Twirling and spinning, moving and grooving. I present to you the always sensational 24-karat alumni gold and silk. Dear mother, this is for you. Twirling till I have nothing by Miss Whitney Houston. If you know the word, sing along. Next up, we have the Major Captain from 1983 to 1986, Miss Laura Martin. You're now tuned into the stereophonic sounds of the mesmerizing, the magnificent, marching, musical machine of the Mid-South.
I like how they got a smoke bomb.
It's time to bring out the alumni to shake it down like we used to. Hey, they said this is how we do it. Let's go. Hey, let's go, alumni. Let's go. If y'all ready for a party, let me tell you that UAPB now stands for. You got a party, baby. So let's go. And there ain't no party
brain is full of ideas. I can get them all out with Serato Studio.
Stand up and let me rewind you. Take it back all the way to 09, where we used to hit them with that blast. Hey, let's go. Turn me up. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Hey.
You got the energy.
Styling and profiling, moving and mesmerizing. The magnificent, marching, musical, machine, of Hey, y'all, that can't be holding from morale to the line dance. Y'all the line is real civilized, and we stand on our feet, and let's dance it out. Hey, hey, let's go. Let's go. Back it up. Back it up. Hey, then turn. Right to the right. Now turn with it. Turn with it. Back it up. Let's go. We see you, Golden Lions. We see you.
It just needs to be a tad bit
Nobody
cleaner.
gets down like
I
your
still see
boy.
some people kind of struggling.
Golden Lions, let us know. Let me get that you. Hey. Let me get that please. That please. The March Music Machine of the Mid-South is under direction of Mr. John Graham, Mr. Derek Evans, Mr. Harry Foster, Mr. Ryan Harris.
Alright, let's give that a grade. Alright, so creative, they got a 4. Breakdown, I'm going to give them a 4. Dancers is a 5. Formations was a 5. Songs was a 5. Entrance is a 4. Alright. It was just, it was just missing just some key things on there, and I think they would have been okay as far as the field show is concerned. So I think the entrance should have just been a tad bit cleaner, and I feel like the breakdown, they had enough features. It just needed to be a tad bit cleaner on that too. It still seemed like some people was kind of guessing on what to do in that, especially when people zoom in on you and it just seems like you are deer in headlights. That's how I see it. It wasn't too bad with UAPB. I just feel like it was just they just needed to be a tad bit cleaner on some stuff. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I got from this field show. They got a 27. Okay. So now they're at a 7-point difference in this battle. Like UAPB is taking the lead in this battle. Okay. They just straight. It's like just stronger in the field show. They had more creative moments. They had a lot more of everything in this field show, and it just seems like Mississippi Valley was just struggling a whole lot in their field show. So that's kind of the tale of the tape for Mississippi Valley for this season. It just seems like that field show tears them up a lot. The field show tears them up a lot. So, right now UAPB is up by 7. So we're going to be moving on to 5th quarter. Again, now this is Valley's strength. So, Valley is strong, and they hit like they hit there at Jackson at one time. I don't know what to tell UAPB. Because UAPB has not been consistent when it comes down to that 5th either. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see how it's gonna turn out. Okay. So again, if y'all made it this far, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. Especially if you skip ahead to this point just to see this 5th. Okay. Just to let y'all know, I can't hit everything. It's just me. And sometimes I miss things here and there. Sometimes I might miss everything. But I'm one person, okay? So y'all getting my initial reaction right there and then, and I'm going to tell you if it sound good or I'm going to tell you if it sound bad. And that's not me showing favoritism to either band or organization. I love both bands, but we all got to have honesty too, okay? And I can accept my faults as well, because I'm not I'm not just here picking bands, I'm not here on everything. I can't hear everything. That's my fault. I can't hear everything. So if I miss it, oh well. But again, I'm going to tell you if it sound good, I'm going to tell you if it sound bad. So with that being said, let's get into the fifth quarter. Look to the cards next to me so you know we'll be grading. Sound selection, power, articulation, arrangement, and cleanness. That's what we're grading. Maximum points they can make altogether is 50. All categories is 10. It's completely different from zero quarter because some zero quarter had 5, fifth quarter has 10. So humongous difference. Humongous difference. So with that being said, we're going to get into the action. Again, ladies and gentlemen, sit tight. This is going to be an interesting battle. Let's get to the action. Like Mississippi Valley is going to start us off first. That sound good. That's what I'm talking about, Valley. Woo, that was nice. That was a nice perfect right there. No complaints at all. They did that. They did that. That was nice. That's all I gotta say on that. That was nice. It was clean. It stayed consistent. That's what it's about. Consistency is everything. Moving on. UAPB.
My name is Whitney
Oh,
Allen.
why
I'm
they
a
gonna put a
widow,
commercial there?
and my husband Ryan died when he was 35 years old.
Depressing. Alright, UAPB. That's what I'm talking about. That was nice. That was nice. I couldn't spot anything wrong with that. That was nice. It sounded good. The run sounded good. That's one thing to point out on this. The run sounded real good. You know, I heard them play that song before. It didn't sound too good. So, yeah, but it was good. Moving on. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Put a pin by that name. That's what's up right there, man. They on one Super Saiyan, dog. No complaints. I got to put that pin up there for him, man. That was nice. They on one Super Saiyan. Ooh-wee. That's that shit. That's that shit. That's that shit right there, Valley. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Oh, slave to the rhythm. That would be something I will pull out on a band. I'm not gonna lie to you. Not gonna lie to you on that one. That was a good pocketbook. All right, moving on. Slow it down, then. Yes, indeed. They don't want Super Saiyan as well. I see you. Yes, indeed. Oh, this is going to be an interesting battle. I like this battle. I likes this battle. I likes this. I likes this. Nice little Super Saiyan on UAPB. I like it. And, you know, I'm really excited that they slowed it down because this is their strength. Hey, look, that's UAPB strength. They better be careful when they walk into their territory with UAPB. I know that for a fact. Alright, let's see what they got going on. Let's see Valley's response. Let's see if they slow it down. Let's give that a grade. Was not the response I wanted to hear from Mississippi Valley. Okay, so song selections are 7, power is 10, articulations 10, arrangements 10, cleanness is a 10. They just, I get that they want to stick with what they know and what they're strong at, but they challenging your technicality as far as slowing it down, and that's also a book thing too. So it's kind of like you gotta really play with your book, and that was not a good call. If they didn't have it, I just feel like that's an L on themselves. But granted it was slow, but I just feel like. You know what I'm saying? I was not expecting a strong power tune after what I heard from UAPB, So that definitely hurt them. Alright? So I think they're going to bring it back, but yeah. Okay, UAPB. Alright. Alright, so this is what I'm gonna give them. Song selection, because they came out with such a power tune, I was not expecting this response for them, but it was still a strong song, so I'm not gonna knock them too hard because it still kind of had that vibe to it. So I'm only gonna knock them 8. Okay, so it's 8 points. So they got song selection, they got an 8. Powers 10, articulations 10, arrangements 10, cleanness is a 10. So they got a 48. Not bad. Not bad. I just feel like they could have came with a hip hop tune at that point, you know. They had nothing else to prove at that point. So let's see what else Mississippi Valley is going to respond with. So they tell me they could have played that before. I'm just saying. That didn't make any sense now, did it? Alrighty. Give them a nice little perfect after that. I just feel like they should have pulled that out last round. I think they would have been straight. I don't know why they did that. But song selection's 10, powers 10, articulation, arrangement, cleanness, everything is a 10. I would say that in the articulation phase, there were some people who were kind of sneaking in just a tad bit, but it wasn't too noticeable, so I'm not too mad at it. But just to put that on your conscience, you know. I did catch a couple things in that. Moving on. Nice little perfect.
What kind of wizardry is this plugin?
complaints. No complaints. That was nice. No complaints at all. That was nice. Alrighty, moving on. That was a nice little perfect for now. Moving on. Look, we got a couple more rounds left and we're gonna be done. We're getting close to the end of that battle, ladies and gentlemen. They're gonna run it back. No complaints on that, man. Trombones, man. Yes, indeed. Give him a Ric Flair moment. Woo! Oh, that was a nice Super Saiyan right there, man. They was hitting. They was hitting, boy. Woo! Woo! They was hitting on that. They was hitting on that, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, that was nice. That was nice. Oh man, that was nice. They did that. They did that. Yes indeed, Valley. Moving on. I think that was the last of Valley. UAPB is gonna close us out. They got 2 songs, they got their response and they got their exit. was nice. Man, I want to give it a perfect, but I just feel like the response, that wasn't the response. But I'm going to give that shit a Ric Flair moment. Woo! Oh, that shit was nice. For the response, I'm going to give that an 8. Power is 10, articulation's 10, arrangement's 10, cleanness is a 10. Definitely was good. It was just, I just feel like that was not the response to exit out with them on because of what they played. It was strong, but I feel like they should have played that when they threw that ballad, you know, or that they slew it down again, you know. So I just feel like it was a director's issue. I feel like that was a book issue, you know, on there, but they kind of dropped the ball on that. But it still sounded good, so I'm not mad at the song. I'm mad at that they played that song at a certain time. That makes sense? You know, you got to treat these battles like a DJ, and that's kind of the tell of the take of this battle right here. But I really enjoyed the content as far as sound. Both bands really sound good. There's nothing wrong with none of the things that they're doing. It's just the song selection. That's me personally. Moving on. Close us out, UAPB. It's their strength. And being slow and smooth, you know. Alrighty, let me give that a grade. That was nice, by the way. Nice little perfect to end it all off. Nice little perfect to end this battle, man. No complaints at all. No complaints at all, man. So, alrighty. That was an interesting fifth quarter. Okay, I would say that. All right. What it looked like is projecting. It looks like Mississippi Valley won fifth quarter, but I'm still gonna give a grade on who initially won this battle. But it looked like Valley beat them by a couple points in this, you know. But we're gonna, you know, just slightly stronger than UAPB in this battle. But will it be enough to carry them as far as them getting over this humongous lead from Field Show? We'll find out. Alright, so again, this is going to be interesting about it, a grade. I don't know who's going to win this, but we're going to see. Alright? A lot of the stuff that happened in the fifth was a book issue. So I think that's one of the things that gave Valley the initial edge over UAPB. It's the fact that even though they had that little hiccup with their book, they kind of shook back and stayed consistent after that. UAPB kind of fumbled the bag twice, you know? That's just me, though. Alright, so we don't have to worry about grading. Well, we're going to grade everything. So from Field Show to fifth. Okay, so we're going to start with UAPB's grade first, and then we're going to do Valley's, okay? They got a 273. UAPBs 273. That's UAPBs. Let's look at valleys. $267. $267. It was a 6-point difference. Alright. So, let me explain. It was a hard gap for Valley to close that. UAPB had to consistently miss. They kind of fumbled the bag just a tad bit, but it just helped them do what they need to do initially. But if it make the people from Valley feeling it better, they did win that fifth, for me at least. Okay, but as far as the battle is concerned, UAPB was stronger than Mississippi Valley. Okay, and so I'm going to give the edge to UAPB on this one, ladies and gentlemen. It's no shots or shade to the other band out there, but you know, it's just what it is. It's what's on my grading scale, and hey, that's just what it is. You know, what I would say, what hurt Valley the most was the field show. If they had the strength in as far as staying consistent with their formations, their line drills, their breakdown department, you know, if they can do that, I think they would have been okay. And would have gave me some more creativity in their field show, I think I would have gave them a little bit more. Okay, it probably, that gap probably would have been a tad bit closer, or it might have been a tie. Never know. But I just think that's what hurt Valley the most, though. Okay, it was that field show. UAPB handled their business for the majority. Like I said, they only really fumbled the bag and feel simply because of song selection, but that's their strength, and they played into it, and they end up, you know, just catching a dub all together as far as their strength, you know. But, you know, it is what it is. But that was an interesting battle. UAPB got the dub. If y'all like what y'all saw, man, please consider subscribing and like up this video, man. I'm finna get up out of here, man, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. And like I tell y'all always, deuces.